It is 6 o'clock on the button. Well, hello, CTFO. This is Kevin Fournier. I'm your president. I'm so excited to be with you here tonight. My gosh, we've got some good things to be covering. This is an exciting moment. I mean, we are 5 days from what I believe is the biggest product launch in this company's history. It is beyond exciting. So October 5th, if you do not have that just in your schedule right now, Boyd, make sure you please put that in, because it's going to be it'll be what we're going to talk about tonight, a defining moment. So I'm going to do something a little different for you tonight. For the past several webinars, you've been hearing a lot about what to do, right, leading up to it. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a different path, if you don't mind. And I'm going to take you back about 27 years. I am really aging myself here. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of my history that you may not know. So my previous company that I was part of, that I founded with my business partner, we were about, this is again, back in 1994. We were about 6 months from launching the company. And at that point, it required my full-time efforts. Now, up until that point, understand, again, this is 1994. I was working full-time and also putting the company together part-time. My wife, Ellen, was pregnant with our second child. She was ready to give birth literally in a matter of a few weeks literally from our second child. And we had $1,000 a month mortgage. We had 2 car payments. We had credit card bills. We had all this stuff that was going on in our life about 6 months prior to launching that company. It was September of 1994. Ellen and I, we were sitting at the dining room table. I remember this, got so vividly. And, I looked at her and I said, "Elle," I said, "this is it. This is it." I said, "We're all in. I've got to go full time now with this new company. I've got to go full time. I've got to quit my job. There is no turning back. There's no more income coming in from this point forward." And that was September of 1994. The company didn't launch until March of 1995. And I looked at her and I said, "You know what? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But this is our moment. This is our decision. We are all in." At that time, we had $3,000 in the bank, which isn't a lot of money. We had some open credit cards, thank God, that helped us get us through the next 6 months. Because again, there was no income coming in from that September through March and then of 1995. And then guess what? Gosh, when you start a new company, there's no guarantee of any income coming in, right? So it was completely all in. That's it. When you're in a startup, you just don't know. So I just want you to just think that through for a second, because that was a defining moment. And what I mean by a defining moment is this. It's a moment that has so much impact and so much meaning on you that you're never the same person from that moment forward. You see, that was a defining moment for me. It was a decision to just go after it. And you know what? Failure was not an option, right? When I say going all in, I mean, failure was not an option for me. Couldn't fail, right? I had 2 kids to support, my wife, mortgage, all this stuff, right? Lots of fear for sure, some doubt, but here's the key: more faith and certainty than anything. More faith and certainty than anything. It was a decision 27 years ago to be all in, not half in, not a quarter in, not 3/4 in, all in. And that's what I want to talk about here tonight, is what it means to be all in and what that means for where we are right at this moment. So I'm going to share my screen with you here if I can. And we're going to dig in here for a moment, because I want to talk to you about, again, defining moments and something that is so powerful. Because that defining moment for me back in 1994, when I sat down with Ellen and said, "Hey, we're all in, no income's coming in, and we're just, there's no room for failure here." That defining moment taught me this very valuable lesson. And that is this: you, not the circumstances, make the decisions that create defining moments in your life or not, right? Decisions that create defining moments in our life or not. Here's what I know. October 5th is going to be a defining moment for this company. And my question to you is this: will it be your defining moment? Will this launch be your defining moment? I have learned this, I believe, in our industry and really in general. Success comes down to three key factors. Number one, desire. So here are some things I want you to think about before Tuesday, October 5th. Because again, circumstances are not what create your success. I want you to understand that. We're going to have an amazing product launch. We're going to be launching a lot of great new tools. It's going to be the most exciting time in this company's history. But guess what? That does not guarantee your success, does it? No. You see, you, not the circumstances, not the conditions, but you who make those decisions are what really, I believe, push you forward towards success. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, how badly do you want your version of success? Not my version, not your uplines, your version of success. Get so clear on that, create clarity. And here's what I know. We all have some degree of desire, right? But where are you? Because here's what I can tell you. Desire is such a key factor for people who go out there and make it happen. You know, 27 years ago, I had never run a company before. It was all desire. It was all blind faith. But the desire is what drove me to say, you know what? We can do this. That desire is what's driving this company every single day. CTFO, to be the best company in the industry. Stu, so much desire to change lives. I need you to reconnect with that desire. And I want you to be just so desirous of where you can go with this company and the lives that you can change. So we need to do a little bit of a self-check on desire. How badly do we really want this? Number two, another key to success are the decisions that we make. And what I mean by that is this. You have a decision to keep the status quo. What's the status quo? Well, let's keep things as they are. And if you're really happy with that, that can be a decision, right? There's nothing wrong with that decision at all. Or you can commit to becoming all that you can be and doing all that you can do. You see, I call that, again, being all in. I have never known any other way than to be all in. So I want you to think about that decision to be all in for your future, for your business, for your team. And then here's the third key factor, and that is resilience, the capacity to quickly recover from adversity. You see, people who are resilient have the perspective of, I either win or I learn, not I win or lose. There's no lose in resilient. There's learn. What lesson did I learn, right? So as you begin to think about what I believe is going to be a momentous moment, a defining moment in this company's history in just 5 days, I want you to think about your desire. I want you to think about your decision to be all in, which means I will not fail. That's what all in means. I will do what it takes. I will succeed. That's the kind of decision and commitment that I think can just change your life over the next 12 months. You make that kind of all-in decision right now, I believe the next 12 months can be life-changing for you. That's what we're talking about here. And then being resilient. It's not going to be smooth sailing all the time. We know that, right? But just be quick to recover from any challenge and know that it's about winning and learning, right? So what do we learn from each one of these things? So I want to dig down a little bit more. And it's this, your greatest power. I believe our greatest power is this, our ability to decide, our ability to choose. Think about it for a second. Everything in our life has come to us. We are at this moment based on the decisions that we have made, based on the choices that we make each and every day. What food we eat, what things we drink. I heard Michael Swilling recently, actually about 30 minutes ago, talking about how he's lost 17 pounds on this new product or stew. Unbelievable. Decisions, right? Decisions to be committed to a version of themselves in the future. You see, this ability to decide is our greatest power because it influences everything that we do. But here's the key, and I want you to really grab this. Everything we do and everything we do not do is a decision. When we decide not to go forward, it's a decision not to go forward. When we decide to just not do anything and let things pass us by, it's a decision not to go after our future. You see, so we always decide. The question is, what decision are we making, and how will that decision impact our future? See, and this is where I want you to dig in over the next 5 days. The decision to be all in, decision to know that what you do over the next 30, 60, 90 days, over the upcoming 12 months, that decision to be all in can create a defining moment for you that changes the rest of your life. That's what we're talking about here, and changes the rest of the life of so many other people, right? That you touch because you made a decision to do. Key point, do not confuse intent, which is I may, with a decision, which is I will. Big difference, right? I may do this, I will do this. You see, that's what I mean by making a decision, because success ultimately is a decision, isn't it? Success is a decision. Decisions made each and every day on what we decide to do or decide not to do. See, these are things that are so important as we move forward. So what does it mean to truly decide? What does it mean? What does it mean to truly decide at this moment that you are all in, that your future, you are not stopping until you make it happen? And I'll tell you, there's no better time, as we talked about, than right now to make that decision. Here's the key point. Each path that you take is a decision, like we just talked about. Let me give you some examples. A decision to take action or to not take action. Both are a decision, and they happen by default. You follow me? When you decide to take action, you're basically saying, I've made a decision that I'm not going to just sit on the sidelines. How about this? A decision to build your future or to keep the status quo. How will you decide? What decision will you make? Build your future or to keep the status quo? Because one way or the other, you're making the decision. You follow me? There's no decisions. A decision to believe you can or simply never know what you're capable of. You see, when we decide to kind of just play more small, we are basically saying, I've decided that I don't want to know what I'm truly capable of doing. Or we decide, I'm all in. I believe I can do this. And you go in and you learn, you get a stumble. Sure. But you are progressing towards an incredible future as you're doing that. Now, how about this? A decision to commit to your successful daily actions or let each day pass you by. I talked about this on another webinar, that each day right now is 10 times the value of, I believe, what it was 4 months ago with the release of this new product. Every day matters so much. So are you going to commit to those daily actions or let each day pass you by? Again, each is a decision. That's why I say the power in our life is in our decisions that we make. Follow me. A decision to focus on the positive in your life or the negative, right? That's an easy one. And that's where we talk about the power of gratitude, right? A decision to be your best self or to be okay with just doing enough. And, we never really become our best self, do we? But we certainly progress towards that. And each day that we go out and maybe risk the no or get a little bit outside that comfort zone is another day that we are working towards becoming our best self that we'll never really get to, but we're progressing towards, or just doing enough. And here's the reality: when you're just doing enough, you're going backwards, right? We're kind of heading back down. We don't want to do that. These are decisions that we make, and I want you to think about these because I want you on fire with excitement and with commitment, because I know what you can do with this new product launch. I know the possibilities that are in this company of just incredible growth, and it's here for you. A decision. Here's one that I did when I was thinking this through. It's so powerful when you dig in on this. A decision to be accountable to your greatness and bless many, or to leave it all inside you and bless few. I think about that for a second. What is your decision on that, right? These are questions to ask yourself. These are questions to create that clarity, because it's not just about the doing. It's doing not with intent. It's doing with the decision that I will. You see, when you begin to get clarity and recognize the power of this defining moment, that's when you become unstoppable, when your decision is to be unstoppable. Wow. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here tonight and over the next 5 days. So real quickly, what holds us back from truly deciding to be all in on our dreams? What makes us decide to not be all in? Right? Why? I mean, this is what I'm talking about here is we know it to be self-evident. We know it to be true. So what holds us back? Fear? And I'm going to just throw it out there. What's the fear? What is truly the fear? If we really break it down, what are we afraid of, right? And we all have fears. I have my fears, absolutely. But what I do know is this, is that what we do here at CTFO is we change lives. So the fear ultimately is a no, maybe somebody being a dream stealer on you. What is the fear, right? But if we think about it, the fear is pretty minimal. It's we make it bigger than it may be. Getting outside our comfort zone is fearful. But again, as we move towards that and through that, that fear dissipates. Doubt, doubt certainly holds us back, right? But I'm going to ask you, what can't you do? What can't you do with CTFO? You can talk to people? Absolutely. Can you share a product with somebody? Especially one that I believe 90% of the people you talk to are going to say, I'd like to try that. Yeah, right? So what can't you really do? And you got a great upline support. You got a company here to support you. So what can't you really do? I don't think there's anything you can't do. Again, it comes down to, though, desire. That's a big word, right? That word desire. Uncertainty. Is there uncertainty? Every day. If you wake up, guess what? There's uncertainty. There's uncertainty on what your day's going to go like, whether you're talking to somebody about CTFO today or not, right? So we could either let the uncertainty stop us, or we could embrace the uncertainty, know that it is part of living, and it could then inspire us to go out and change lives. And that's what we're talking about here, an opportunity to change lives at such a huge way. So the biggest product launch in CTFO's history is here. You're already here. And my question to you really simply is, why miss it? And I'll even say it more emphatically, don't miss it. Don't miss it, okay? Don't miss this. So I'm going to just end with this, desire. Are you clear on your why? Are you clear on how you define success? Because if you're lacking in the desire, right, you don't have something clear and palpable enough to you that's going to inspire you. You see, that's the thing about CTFO, as we know, right? No boss telling you have to do anything. It's an inspiration job. And inspiration comes from clarity of purpose, how we define success. Don't miss that one. So important. Get clear. Boy, get clear, because the next, October 5th on, whatever that desire is, you can make that happen here. Are you courageous? Are we going to let our fear stop us, or are we going to be courageous? Again, courageous is defined as what? Not the absence of fear, but doing that which you fear and just moving past it, right? Not letting fear stop you. That's a courageous person. It's not the absence of fear. So are you courageous? Well, I'm going to ask you this. I bet every single one of us can remember 20 times, 30 times when we were courageous, when we did something when we were in fear and we did it anyway. So guess what? You did it, and you can do it again. So fear is not something to let hold us back, right? Just get that courage that you have, that you've shown so many times. And I always kind of look at it this way. Hey, what's the worst that can happen? You go up, you talk to somebody, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. Okay. What's the best that can happen? You change their life. You change their life. And this product that we're going to launch is going to be life-changing for people. So I just want you to know that. You will change their life. Worst case, you get a no. Best case, you change your life. That's pretty clear in my mind. So be courageous. And finally, this is a real simple one. Can you commit to the doing for the next 30 days, regardless of the results? I just want you to focus on doing a few simple things. You've heard it from David. You've heard it from Evelyn. You've heard it from Michael. You've heard it from Stu. You've heard it from really all of the leaders just saying this. Listen, this is going to be something you want to get out there really, really fast. So commit to the process. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to just think like this. Over the next 30 days, beginning October 5th, Okay. I mean, you could begin doing now, right? But just, I mean, I'm talking on 10, all in, decision to be all in. No way I'm failing here. Commit to the process and create a 30-day whirlwind of activity. A 30-day whirlwind of activity. That's what I want you to just think about that. What can I do? How can I create a 30-day whirlwind of activity? Because I believe that what you do in those 30 days could maybe be some of the most important 30 days you spent in a while. That's what we're talking about here with this product and where CTFO is in its company's history. And again, it's not just the product, it's the compensation plan, it's the support, it's the incredible leadership of Stuart, the incredible leadership of Steve and Michael, and this corporate team, such fantastic people that I've had the opportunity to get to know and work with. Phenomenal. So it's all those things, right? But there are times that are what I'll call incredibly leveraged. And what I mean by that is the time you put in now is worth 10 times what it may be in normal times. That's one of those times right now. So I want you to share this product with everybody that you know. I want you to share it with everyone you meet who could benefit from this product. Just create that activity, right? Just create that whirlwind of activity. Commit to the doing. Don't worry about the yes or the no's. Get the product out there. And I believe you're going to see incredible results, right? And again, there's going to be ups and downs, but that's where the resilience part comes in, right? That's where that resilience part comes in. So as I wrap up, I want you to do this. I want you to decide that this is your time. This is your time right now. Don't let it pass you by. Don't let it pass you by. Decide today to be an incredible force for good. That's what you are. You're an incredible force for good with this company. You are an incredible force for good. Think about that. I want you to also decide today to be unconditionally all in for your team right now. All in for your team. You know what the most important thing that we have in this company? Obviously, great product, right? But when you talk about in the field, we've got incredible leadership in the field. And that leadership inspires. So I want you to just embrace the moment of your leadership and know what you can do to inspire others to do the things that they may not have done except without your inspiration, but now they do with your inspiration. That's the power of leadership. And every person on this call is right now. The ability to ultimately make a difference in people's lives. That's all I'm talking about when I say leadership. It's make a difference. And decide today to be unconditionally all in for your dreams. Unconditionally all in. Remember that story I told you earlier? 1994. Sitting back. Hell, we're all in. There's no failure. There's no turning back. I don't know what we're doing for money. We'll figure it out. But we're all in. Good thing is you don't have to be that all in. But the concept is the same. You're all in on your dreams. You see, you're all in on your dreams. And that's where I want you to be. That's where you can be here as we move forward. So October 5th, 2021 will be a momentous, defining moment. I want every single person on this webinar to catch it and to catch it in such a big way and make the next 12 months of your life just some of the most exciting that you've ever experienced. I want to thank you as always. It's great talking to you. October 5th, 2021, build to that webinar that's going to be happening, that product launch, and so much more that you'll see that evening. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.